guys, Jason here, a student at Western Colorado University. We're excited to be here and bring to you the at-home volley activity. So this is a little game and activity that we came up with to have you guys do on an off day and challenge yourselves and have some fun. So some basic equipment that we're going to have to start off with is you're going to need a small open space. You can do this outside or inside. Just make sure if you're inside that move some hard objects around. Stay away from the TVs. You're going to then need a lightweight object. For this video purpose, we're going to have a balled up piece of paper. You can always get a small lightweight ball that your parents can help you pick out, or ideally we want to use a blown up balloon. Also, just make sure that we're getting our parents around to make sure our areas are safe for us to start this activity and help you get the right ball.
Hi, my name's Evan. I'm a senior here at Western Colorado University, and for this first at-home volley challenge, the beginner stage, we are just going to be working on keeping our ball in the air. And some ways to do that are you're going to want to have an upward striking motion. You're going to want to keep your palm open, and then you're just going to want to keep the ball in the air. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like. So for upward striking, we're just going to hold the ball, your balloon, whatever object you have. You're going to have your open palm right here, and we are just going to upward strike, just like that. So you want to get it to go high, to give yourself more time to get in position, to get another good upward strike, to keep that ball in the air. So now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what that game is going to look like. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what that beginner stage looks like. And for this, you're going to want to set yourself a personal goal to either hit it 15 times without it hitting the ground, maybe 20 times, maybe you can even go for time, but let's get after it.
So after that first activity, we're going to just continue to move on in this beginner stage. So our next thing that we're going to be working on is volleying, like our cues, striking upwards and keeping the ball in the air with our open palm. We're going to move on to trying to strike the ball with our right hand, moving upwards, open palm, and then directly hit it with our left hand with the striking upwards and open palm. So that's going to look like we're going to start here. We're going to start with our left or our right hand, whichever one you want to. We're going to hit up and then hit with our left and then hit with our right. And we're going to keep going back and forth. So right to left to right to left. And do that and set your goal again. Try to get 15 hits. You can go for 30 seconds. Try to keep it up in the air using that strategy. All right, guys. Now let's wrap up our beginning stage with a fun game that we like to call ABC volleying. And what that's going to look like is from our two previous strategies that we just used of the striking upward with an open palm and hitting it consistently with one hand, or trading back to right hand to left hand. However you want to do this, combine both of those motions and try to complete your ABCs with each hit. So what that'll look like is if I start with my right hand, I'm going to hit it with my right hand and say A when I hit it. And then my next hit will be B. So A, B, and then I just go and try to keep hitting it until I get to Z. So our challenge is to make it all the way to Z. So A, B, C, only to C. Let's see where you get.
How's it going, everyone? Now that you guys have mastered the beginner stage, we're going to move on to the intermediate stage. So some cues to keep in mind for this are upward striking, open palm, and you're going to want to keep your eyes up for this one. So we're going to be doing a little bit. Now that we've gone over the new cues, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate our new activity. If you don't have a balloon, it's highly recommended to use a balloon, but a piece of paper is fine. It's just going to make it a little more challenging. Alright, so for this new activity, we're going to be walking in a forward direction. So why you would want a balloon is because we're going to be hitting it. It's just going to float a little bit easier for you to walk and then hit it again. With the paper, you're going to have to control and hit a little bit smaller, and it kind of moves everywhere, so you're kind of already on edge with your direction and where you're going. But we'll give you a little demonstration here. So, like I said, you're going to want to use a balloon for this, but all we got is paper. You're just going to hit it and try to walk forward. And with the paper one, try to do lower hits like I said earlier, just to keep it a little more controlled. So there we go, and then I'm just walking forward now. And there you have it. One last thing about this intermediate stage. So if you're in a smaller room, just walk down to your nearest wall, then stop, turn around, and then come back. See how many times you could do that. If you have access to outside, just see how far you could go and test your limits. Alright, so another way to have this intermediate volley challenge a little more challenging, instead of walking forward, now we could walk in a zigzag. So I'm just going to demonstrate without using the ball for right now. So in our small space, I'm walking this way, then I'd be walking like this, and then like this. And you're going to try to keep the ball up. So now that we have the pattern, I'm going to try to keep the ball up while I do it. Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Alright, now that we've got these two skills down, for our last intermediate activity, we're going to be playing a fun little game. It's kind of like hacky sack with your balloon or your paper ball. Just incorporate the hits that we've been doing with your hands, either one or alternating. Practice moving, but now we're going to incorporate other body parts like our feet. So you can do like a 1, 2, 1, bring it back up to you, and just kind of feel around. Like I said, you can move, so maybe do like 1, 2, 3 moving, try to hit it on your foot, and then continue moving. Practice your zigzag patterns, and just enjoy the activity.
Alright guys, now that we've gone through our beginner and our intermediate stages, hey, we're masters now. We've got this down. So what we're going to do is, if I have a paper ball or if I have a balloon, I'm going to go somewhere in the house and I'm going to find a different ball. That could be something that weighs a little bit lighter or weighs a little bit heavier than what you have. But let's go get two different things, one that weighs lighter and one that weighs heavier than the ball you're using right now, and we'll bring them back and we'll start with those. Alright guys, now that we're back with our different sizes of balls and weights, let's start over and let's do our upward striking with an open palm, and let's just practice hitting it with both hands, one hand, and let's get a little feel for that different weight of the ball. We'll do that for about a minute, just get the feel. You can start then walking with your ball. After you do that for a minute, start walking around, going straight, hitting it, going sideways, diagonal, trying to zigzag with your new weighted ball, and let's just get a feel for it. And then when we do that, we'll do that for about 2-3 minutes, just walking around, hitting our new size ball. Like we just said, do that for 3 minutes, and we'll come back and then we'll finish it up. Alright guys, we got a really fun game for you to end this at-home volley lesson up. So what we're going to do is, if you're inside in your living room, stuck with the balloon because the other balls might break a TV, stick with that. That's totally fine. And what you're going to want to do to end this up, something fun, is get your mom or get your dad, brother or sister, or maybe your dog, even try it with them. And you're going to want to hit it back and forth between them, between both of you, and try to keep it up off the ground. Some fun little things that we went over that you can incorporate into your game is hitting it with your feet or your hands, or just make up your own rules, but keeping that balloon up off the ground is the main goal. If you're outside, that's great. Bring all the different sizes of balls that we have and bring them outside with you, and do the same activity by passing it back and forth with a partner. Since you have more room, you could do like full family activities, where you could do like you and your brother against mom and dad, or you and your sister against mom and dad, and see how many times you can keep it up off the ground between each groups, or which group drops it first loses. Just make it your own, have fun with it, and we just want to thank you and appreciate your time.